Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. It's great to see you. This is a reading for Aries, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or for those with significant Aries placements. There may be a message in here for you. So Aries, I'm getting a very interesting message for you. There's something unconventional is the word that's coming through. It's unconventional. Sorry, I have to get a deck out because I just got an image of it. Okay, something unconventional and out of reach is actually how it's coming through. I don't know what that is for you. It might be sort of like an opportunity or something like that. That's a bit unconventional, but at the same time, perhaps because it's unconventional, it may feel kind of out of reach for you at the moment. Interesting. I'm not sure why. There's also this message coming through about spiritual nourishment is how it's coming through. So maybe you're seeking spiritual nourishment. Maybe there's some sort of like nourishing energy. Yeah. Okay. This is the card that's coming out. It's called Licking Dew from the Green Leaves. Licking Dew from the Green Leaves, which talks about like the story that accompanies this card is one where it's like someone who's been really thirsty. There hasn't been water in the environment, and that's the thing that's most needed. But there isn't any water. So in the meantime, until you get to the spring or the river, you have to lick dew from the green leaves, which is enough to sustain you in order to get to the next thing. So I'm going to read the description. It says, draw your attention away from the obvious. Partaking of the subtle leads to new inspiration and to a more tender and deep fulfillment. Receive what is available now. Yeah, interesting. Okay, to receive refreshment from dew rather than from a spring or a creek implies a willingness to receive subtle nourishment that quenches some deeper thirst. When you feel a need for something, that sense of need often stimulates a desire for a lot of that thing. Whether there's a lot of that thing available or not, there can be a great benefit in partaking consciously of only a small amount of it. And if indeed there is some actual scarcity in this thing you need or desire, then imbibing what little you can of it with full gratitude, presence, and devotion will resolve the discomfort of any sense of lack. In this story, there is no body of water anywhere near the traveler, yet they desperately need to drink. The dew around them is temporary. If they drink it now, they are able to quench their thirst enough to get them to a larger body of water later. If they ignore the offering of the morning's dew, it will evaporate, and they may not be able to make it to the body of water farther ahead. Yeah, okay. Humbly accept what is available in this moment and trust that what is here now will give you the very sustenance you most need to make it to the next needed source. Okay. Yeah, okay. So something very subtle, Aries. This is that energy of the unconventional that I feel like there's a need or desire for something that maybe you feel that you're lacking at the moment. And so the natural impulse is to like want a lot of that thing, right? Like if you're really hungry or if you're really thirsty, you want to like the desire or need comes in with this energy of wanting a lot of it in order to fulfill that need or desire. But this card is emphasizing and encouraging sort of like more of a subtle like licking dew from leaves rather than drinking from a stream. That's sort of the energy that's coming through for you today, Aries, that if there is something that you feel you're lacking, it's like finding nourishment in like the subtle or in the in what is currently available to you, because that will be enough to get you to the next like bigger source of whatever it is that you feel that you're lacking. So that's how it's coming through, Aries. So that like, okay, so it's really talking about gratitude and appreciation for where you are right now and what is available to you. And it will be enough to get you to the next thing, is how it's coming through for you. But it is a little bit unconventional, or there's like, I don't know why that word keeps coming through. You have a peach so ripe at the bottom of the deck, which talks about nothing goes to waste, right? Nothing goes to waste. Everything is like recycled. I feel like maybe there are things around you that are going to help you, like engaging with it. Is it a spiritual nourishment? Maybe. Again, it's coming through with water for you, Aries. So maybe there's some sort of like emotional need or just like something like that that will help you in some way. The Maiden. Okay. The Maiden. This card talks about joy and happiness and new beginnings. It's a very positive card, but it is something that requires growth, conscious sort of effort and nurturing and nourishment in order to grow. The Master Maker, yeah. Okay, so the Master Maker talks about craft or skills, craftsmanship, improving upon things. 222 is coming in for you, the number 222. But the Master Maker talks about like, so perhaps there's like a project or something like that, or there's like, this is why it's coming through as being like, maybe there's something that you want to do or you want to work on, or it's like something that you want to engage with or whatever. There is some sort of need or desire or like a desire to fulfill something or to create something, maybe. A desire to create something, but perhaps right now, where you are right now, the opportunity is not there, or the resources are not there in whatever way, or there's some sort of lack in whatever area of your life this relates to. Could be pentacles, it could be energy, it could be emotional investment, anything like that, where maybe you feel like you don't have enough of whatever it is in order to like actually do the thing. And the guidance is saying like, focus on sort of like the subtle or the unconventional or the smaller things is kind of how it's coming through. You have enough to sort of get you to the next big thing, whatever it is, but the big thing is not available to you yet. Yeah, the Singer of Courage. Because that's another 222, because 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. That's interesting. Singer of Courage, it's going to require courage, and you have that gnome at the bottom of the deck, which is a card about creative chaos. There is maybe something about like letting loose with something, Aries. Maybe I'm kind of feeling like this energy of like something risky. Maybe something that feels a bit risky in some way, or especially with the Singer of Courage, maybe something where it's like it doesn't quite feel like Especially this licking dew from the green leaves. I'm gonna pull tarot, cause the fountain tarot was coming through. Okay, the Emperor. The Emperor, there you are, Aries. Interesting. I get a very strong Mars and Saturn energy from this Emperor card because it's coming through with this sort of structure. It's feeling very much like Saturn, so there may be a Capricorn connection, or there may be something about like structure or building something that is a highlight for you at the moment, Emperor Aries. And the Hanged Man. Interesting. Yeah, okay. So the Hanged Man is that like unconventional perspective. I feel like there's something where you have to look at it a different way. You have to look at find a different perspective is how that's coming through with the Pisces reading. There's a Pisces reading I did couple weeks ago now, maybe last week, I can't remember what week it was, that may have a message in there for you. Maybe you are waiting for something. Perhaps you're feeling a bit stuck in something as well. Like, I don't know, maybe you're searching for it doesn't feel like maybe it is an answer. Maybe you're searching for an answer. Maybe you're searching for an answer to a problem. But the message that's coming through here is that you have to look at the problem a different way. Like, because it's kind of like... I'm going to pull another card. But I do feel that you are going to be getting some clarity, or like a different perspective is really what's coming through with the Hanged Man. Perhaps about your situation. Okay, interesting. The World and the Seven of Swords. Can I get another card for the Seven of Swords? Two Pentacles. Okay. So Seven of Swords can talk about self-sabotage. It coming out with the Two of Coins, especially this one, is kind of coming through with this energy of like it like trying to keep something afloat. Like there's not it's like a very precarious energy where maybe something feels like it's drowning or that kind of thing. A bit of a precarious situation is how this Two of Coins comes in. But there's something about like Seven of Swords where maybe there's a situation. So it's coming out with the World, which I feel like is good energy. Because I feel like that's saying there's a conclusion to that is how it's coming through. Conclusion of a Seven of Swords kind of energy. So maybe there's a situation that you're in, whatever it is. But that I feel like something was being withheld. It's not anymore. Is how it's coming through. What is that? Is that your energy, the Seven of Swords? No. Okay. Because you have the Five of Swords and the Nine of Wands. That's tough energy. Five of Swords and the Seven of Swords. I feel like maybe there was some sort of situation where like something, it could be another person. I don't know, maybe not. It could be yours as well. It's kind of like, because 5 of Swords and 7 of Swords are definitely related, right? Because the 7 of Swords splits into the 5 and the 2. So you have the 5 of Swords here. I feel like maybe there was a situation where like information was withheld, or like something was withheld with the 7 of Swords, like, and the 5 of Swords, where like maybe information wasn't being shared or something like that, that perhaps caused confusion, or perhaps like required, like, you have the Chariot at the bottom of the deck, where maybe there was a situation where information wasn't being shared in whatever way, and it was causing confusion. Or if it's not confusion, it was like maybe you had to work harder at something than you needed to if that information was shared, right? It's kind of coming through as being like, maybe there wasn't cooperation in a situation or something like that. Like, people were not cooperating, or like there was arguments or disagreements. And so it's kind of like, maybe for you, Aries, there was something where it's like, okay, I have to do this on my own, or I have to, like, especially with the 9 of Wands and the 2 of Pentacles, like, you had to handle something on your own because there was a situation where I don't know, communication is really highlighted. Like, it's coming through with Mercury. Interesting though that it's like affecting your projects or your work in some way. Like, there's something about communication that I feel like was affecting like how you work, because it could be something about, like, I feel like Aries is a very independent sign normally, so there may have been something where you were okay to work independently, but because of that, like, I don't know, it's been a struggle maybe with the 9 of Wands and the 2 of Pentacles. Like, a hyper independence for you might work, Aries, but it was a struggle, or it is a struggle maybe. And maybe that's an energy of a self-sabotaging energy, Aries, where it's like, I don't know if that's gonna work anymore. I don't know if that's gonna work anymore, to be honest. The hyper independence. There could be something there's something like tricky about this energy, and it kind of feels like it's like solar plexus related. I don't know why. It just, I'm feeling it like a tightness in my chest, but like a bit further down. So I don't know. I think it's something about like solar plexus and heart. There's something about, again, with the throat chakra as well, though, like, because I'm seeing, like, in this image, the dew leaves. I'm seeing, like, if you've ever looked at, like, a leaf under a microscope, they're called stoma. They're, like, little mouths on the leaves that breathe, right? That's where the exchange of, like, oxygen and carbon dioxide comes through or happens. They're like little mouths. And I don't know, that's what I'm seeing. There's something about communication, or like an exchange of communication, something like that maybe you weren't engaging in, Aries, which is not benefiting you, is how it's coming through. In a way where it's like you have to work harder, is how it's coming through with the 9 of Wands. You have to work harder to maintain something. Because imagine like with that sort of exchange energy where it's like the plants take in carbon dioxide, they ingest carbon dioxide and they exhale oxygen, right? And of course for humans it's the reverse. And so that becomes a symbiotic relationship, the gas exchange. But imagine if the plants no longer gave out oxygen. They only took, or sorry, yes, they only took in carbon dioxide. It would create an imbalance. That's how it's coming through. So maybe there was something here, Aries, where maybe you were taking in a lot, but you weren't because it does feel kind of like air energy, like breath. Communication, of course, is in that. So maybe it's something where you were listening to a lot of things, but you weren't speaking, right? Or the reverse for you. But it feels kind of like that way, where it's like maybe you were listening to a lot, you were taking in a lot, you were reading a lot maybe, or you were like doing all of that, taking in, but not speaking, not sharing your ideas, not expressing something. So it kind of feels like that kind of energy is like wanting to be balanced, where it's like if you're taking in a lot but not expressing anything, that kind of energy, that can create an imbalance is how it's coming through. Interesting. But I feel like that is coming to an end with the world, because it's like that part of the cycle is completed. So I feel like the next part of the cycle for you is to in order to correct the imbalance, it would be to express something, right, of what you have been ingesting, metaphorically. Because it does feel kind of like solar plexus, heart, and throat. All this energy is getting sort of like caught in here. Like it's almost like there's something about the throat that feels like constricted. Like, It may be a sort of a difficulty in expressing something. Okay. Sky, wind, sun. Your essence is a service to the world. Your spirit overflows with joy and happiness, love, and wisdom. Do not hoard these energies for yourself. Yeah. They are meant to be shared. Your essence enhances other people's lives by just being in their presence. There's nothing you have to do, and there is nothing you have to say. It is simply about sharing the energy that authentically radiates from your heart and from your spirit. Your energy is like a spark that activates inspiration and positivity in other people, and that is why you carry this medicine, because the world needs this gift, this radiant mirror you hold within you that transmits the message, I see you, I hear you, my power is your power, look at how powerful you are. Okay, Aries, yeah. It's about sharing your energy, Aries, because I feel like maybe there's, especially with the Singer of Courage coming out here, there's something about like, it may be like a fear of sharing your joy, or like sharing, especially with, you have the Maiden and the Master Maker, which is like, it talks about like maybe creations, right? Like maybe something about like there may be a fear about sharing your joy or sharing your energy or your happiness or your love, or maybe even something that you've created, right? Like it could be fear that feels a bit too intense of a word, but like it's not put out, right? It's like the plants are not putting out oxygen as they should. They're only taking in CO2. That's the metaphor that's coming in for you, Aries, which is like you have to release the oxygen, right? It's like oxygen will help other people to breathe. That's how it's feeling. Like that's, and it's like there may be, maybe it's like worry about whether or not you're saying the right thing or doing the right thing, or that's where the Singer of Courage comes in. It could be a bit of doubt or worry. And I feel like the guidance is like, you don't have to worry about that. It's just about like sharing. It's just about like expressing something is how it's coming through. I don't know. Maybe there's a bit of, especially with the Master Maker, a little bit of wanting something to be like perfect or something like that. Like it has to, like it's kind of coming through with a bit of like over analysis or overly self-critical, maybe, of like, if it's not perfect, then I shouldn't put it out, or I shouldn't like whatever, if it's not exactly the right thing. Anyways, the next card you have here is the land, tree, earth. This card comes out so much. It talks about nurturing a seed and growing something. But I always find it so interesting that this landscape is barren, and the landscape is barren, and this tree, this little sapling, looks like it's about to like lose its leaves, because the leaves are they're not green, which is interesting, because you have licking dew from the green leaves. I feel like you're working with like a lack of resources in whatever way, but the message that's coming through here is that you have just enough to get you to the next source of nourishment, is how it's coming through. You have just enough to get you to the source of nourishment, but it may not be like what's available to you right now is like, how do I phrase this? It's subtle, it's unconventional. It is available to you right now, but it's not maybe what you hoped it would be, right? It's not like a spring or a creek that you can just drink from freely. It's collecting raindrops. That's how it's coming through. Collecting raindrops and dew in order to quench your thirst, even if just for a little bit. It is temporary. It's temporary, Aries. That's what's coming through. Okay. Let's look at this collection of cards next. Okay, yeah. Land, flower, moon. This card talks about being open. I feel like part of the Seven of Swords, Five of Swords energy is that you were withholding something of your light, Aries, because it could be something like, especially with the Five of Swords, it's coming in with like you're almost like hoarding maybe your own ideas or your own thoughts or your own communication, maybe for fear of because this card talks about vulnerability, like maybe wanting to protect yourself from something. Yeah, a lot of people confuse vulnerability with weakness, which means a lot of people get it really wrong, because nothing could be further from the truth. An open heart doesn't fear pain, and an open heart doesn't need to wear armor or hide to protect itself. Allow yourself to delve deep into your vulnerability and to share it with others. Be with the pain that lives inside of you and allow it to express and to release. Cry and let the tears cleanse your spirit, knowing that the process is renewing your essence and purifying your soul. Allow others into your pain and into your emotions while welcoming theirs into your own heart. Open your heart to your tribe so that they can see the fullness of you. Be gentle with yourself, dear one, for this is tender territory you are choosing to tread. Hold your vulnerability and others' vulnerability with grace and with respect. It takes great courage to share your feelings with others. Okay. Aries, there is something here as well, because of the Seven of Swords coming out, that typically is associated with self-sabotage, but I find that description so like judgmental, and I feel like it's more nuanced than that, where like Seven of Swords energy comes out when somebody is afraid, right? Like, so Seven of Swords can be something where it's like somebody runs away because they're scared of something. So it is a protective energy. It's a self-protective energy where it's like maybe there were, I don't know, things that you were doing, maybe like, usually it's some sort of behavior where it's like you were trying to protect yourself. And that usually means like withdrawing or withholding or removing yourself. That could be a hyper independence kind of thing where it's like, you know, maybe there were situations where it's like, okay, you don't feel safe for whatever reason, so I'm going to withdraw. I'm going to go do something on my own. I'm going to like withhold my energy from this group or whatever in order to protect myself. But what's coming through here is that that's no longer serving you, because this energy is coming through with being like, their vulnerability is not a weakness. It's not. There is something here about like being open, of letting others into your pain or your experience or something like that. Because I feel like maybe you've been carrying a heavy load, Aries. There's an Aquarius energy coming through right now, which is another very independent sign. It does kind of feel like something where like you've been withdrawing yourself. Perhaps from emotional nourishment of some sort, emotional or spiritual nourishment that you've been withdrawing yourself from. For whatever reason, to protect yourself, perhaps. Okay, I'm going to pull one more card for the, from the Animal Apothecary deck. Almost there. You're almost there, Aries. This... Okay. I'm not going to read the full description because this one's kind of a long story. But it is... Okay. 1 second. Let me just skim it. This is a long story. But it is something about like... You've learned something through pain. Okay. This card talks about like there's something that you want, there's something that you desire, but for a long time it's been not available to you. You couldn't get there. This card is saying you're almost there, Aries. You're almost there. And all of the lessons that you learned in that period of time where you couldn't have the thing that you wanted or you couldn't move towards the goal that you wanted, those were all lessons that were necessary for you to learn in order to actually get you to that place successfully, is how it's coming through. And so there's, okay, I'm just going to read this last section. If there is something you yearn for in your heart and have been trying to achieve with little to no success, this is a profound confirmation that it is approaching. Be patient. There is wisdom in the waiting. This is the preparation time. You are gaining what you need to unite fully with what your heart desires. Endure, endure, endure. Okay, Aries, you're almost there, is how it's going through. You're almost there. It's like this part of whatever you're in right now feels almost like, it's like you're so close to something. And it's like you have just enough to get you to the destination. That's how it's coming through. You have like just enough gas to get you to where you need to go. You've just enough water, just enough whatever, resources to get you there. And you are almost there. Okay. Aries, I'm going to leave it there. If this reading resonated with you, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.